All right, we're live. Everyone, we are live again. Dynasty Mirror Search for Huru. Thank you all. Thank you so much for joining us. Make sure you go to dynastymirror.com. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Also, tour Sierra Leone, April. Come and roll Sierra Leone in April and Nigeria in August. If you're interested in joining us, hit me up. We got some room left. I'm also redoing the tour website. So that should be launched here. Hopefully, I want it done before Christmas. I hope it's done before Christmas. So, again, everyone, thank you so much. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. We got a special guest on with us today, Brother Kyle Genesis. It's been a minute, Kyle. It's been a minute.
Mm-hmm. At least a month.
Yeah, at least a month. Once I get traveling,
Oh
you
yeah.
know. Yeah. But today's topic is Black politics completely dead in America. But Kyle, let's first talk about another rapper was killed yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Live streamed on Facebook.
Right. Right.
In Chicago.
But
Your favorite mayor, Lightfoot, Heavyfoot.
Lightfoot, Heavyfoot, Beetlejuice,
Yeah,
or she,
beautiful.
what she looks like, that turtle on Bugs Bunny. Remember Bugs Bunny and the tortoise and the turtle, Bugs Bunny?
Uh-huh.
That's crazy old rabbit,
Yeah.
Just like that freaking turtle, But not to make funny, like I said, you try to
Yeah,
be.
don't make fun of her.
They say, check this out. They say, "Oh, be inclusive, Kala. Don't look past what people look like." And a lot of times, what people look like and they project, are we not say that this lady's crazy? She's married to a white. What's the sex? Yeah, it has everything to do with it. She's married to a white woman. She's a lesbian relationship and everything. There's imbalance there. So her thoughts, right, when she says, "Well, I don't know what's going on with the crime. It's just a figure in your mind." So we got to believe our lying eyes. Your city's a hell on earth. In
Right.
Chicago, I believe, no, it's Philadelphia. No, Chicago. One Asian man or Indian guy was minding his damn business, a college student, right? Had his whole life ahead of him, 26 years old, just gunned down randomly. And what this is doing, right? Like I said, this is doing is black people always talk about nobody gives a damn about us. Well, we keep covering and making excuses for people. We're turning public opinion. I said this months ago. People's hearts are being hardened. People are just saying for black people, we understand your ancestors went through slavery and everything, but if I had the choice, we put you back in those chains.
Mm-hmm.
Like Caesar said to Koba, "You belong in the cage." It's like, my God, it's like you give us a little bit of, give us our freedom, which is, hey, what do? We're flash mobbing stores, right? We vote people in that's going to take us, that's going to be soft on crime.
Right.
So and then what gets me is most black people law abiding. What is it about there's a relationship between the black criminal element, right, and the lawlessness and the black politician, because we know black people are easily intimidated, right? You got black people who are homeowners in their neighborhood, right? This is if you're a black person living in a black community, you are the biggest sucker on the planet. You might as well just rent, because you're paying mortgage, taxes, everything on a property that's not going to give you anything that you could invest. White people, they have equity they can take out of it. They buy a boat, they do an investment, open a small business. A house is a lifeblood. Not in the black community, right? Because your equity in your house is your ability to, like with the lower probability, the probability that you can resell the house and another family moves in and everything like that creates value. If you live in a neighborhood where the crime rate is gunshots and everything, property crime,
Yeah.
people breaking into cars and everything, your house can't resell. So what happens is you end up more you're going to pay more in taxes, more
Right.
mortgage and everything, right? And that's why black people lose their property, because they can't borrow, they can't refinance, they can't do anything. So we're in a catch-22. And what gets me is, while all this is happening, right, we have black so-called leadership, right? The only thing they talk about is white racism, white crime, Trump, everything else, right? To
Right.
distract from the fact that they have been abysmal failure. Black politics in America has been abysmal failure. We could say
Right.
that it's where we failed. It failed. You know, so politics in America, I don't want to hear about anything of what we got to do. No, we don't got to do shit. You know, Dynasty and I know what we're doing. You know, Dynasty is doing what he's doing with his citizenship thing. I'm doing my thing over here, and we're building. We know that what we're trying to, we are building, is a future for our people outside this political system in America. Now people say, Colin, you guys, we were born here. You know what I'm saying? You're like,
hey, here's my favorite color. My family was sharecroppers in Mississippi.
So what?
They were sharecroppers.
Yeah, they were sharecroppers. We tilled the soil. Like, let me give you an example. You ever notice that the people, you don't know who the person who built the George Washington Bridge, right? The people, all the workers, right? About 3,000 workers, right? You don't know their names, right?
Right.
They got paid everything. The man who masterminded the George Washington Bridge and everything like that, you know, I forgot his name, right? I think it was a Frenchman, you know. You see his name on there, constructed by such and such and everything, you know. Black people don't seem to understand something. If you're a laborer, right, you're forced to labor, or either forced to labor or you're paid for your labor, right? You can't say that you built something or that you own it. Somebody died. I said this a year ago on your show, Dinus, right? It's like if you have a home edition put on your house, Dinus, right? And you say, yeah, I like the new patio. I got a sunroof and everything. Got a pool. I can slide in. And you come home from work one day and you see the guys who built it a year ago saying, we built this shit, you know?
Yeah, we're gonna swim in the pool. Yeah,
we're gonna swim in the pool, man. We have every right to it because we built this. We our blood, sweat, and tears were here. No, don't work with that. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and we haven't really understood that as Black people in this country. You know, we just think that the world's gonna sympathize with it. And now we're in a situation, Diana's most dangerous situation we're in, right? Where we're starting to lose the confidence of our own African brothers and sisters. More people saying, y'all fucked up. And also, and white people know this, right? I saw a video the other day, right, on TikTok, and I'm well read, folks. I reference TikTok because I'm on it all the time and everything. Trust me, I read a lot of books. I'm just not one of the internet people. Anyway, this guy said, the white guy said, "Well, we Nigerians, we Black." All of a sudden, the white guy said something struck my eye. He goes, "Oh, I know you're not Nigerians because they never call themselves Black. They don't see themselves like you, Black people in America. They don't talk about race." So, in other words, white people know enough that if they could get to Africans, right? They know America is still the land of opportunity and everything. They go to Africans and say, "Look, you come over here, right? You got to be on Team White America."
Right.
You know, and more immigrants. So as we integrate America, right? We still got our axe to grind with America, right? We don't want to assimilate. We don't want to leave, and we don't want to assimilate.
Right.
What assimilate means is you go by the rule of law. You know, you go to court. If you have a civil matter, you take it to court. You win, you lose. That's the system. If you're charged with a crime, you wait till you have your day in court, right? And you get a lawyer, whatever. You get off, wherever, and you can sue recourse. No, we basically want to be like, you officer, I could drive around this neighborhood with my seatbelt off, any speed limit, and you pull me over, you're racist because you're profiling me and all this kind of nonsense and everything. Well, sir, your window tints are over the legal limit. Well, I got a right to pull you. A cop has a right to pull you over anytime you want to. According to the social justice warriors and everything like that, no, police shouldn't target people who they know are breaking the law. We're not, because it'll be seen as racial profiling. What this tells me is that after 400 years, Black people, despite all the politics, despite all the Martin Luther King, we are not assimilated into the mainstream of American society. You know, and it's if we're not assimilated to the mainstream society, then why do we elect people that speak on our behalf when we're not making any progress? We're not making any progress into the mainstream society. Why is it that? Why is it this disconnect between us, the courts, law enforcement, and all the things that we pay taxes for, that we fought for, and everything like that? And you say we don't benefit. So let me ask you a question. So what does Black politics do for us? If you're telling me the system is inherently racist and corrupt, it's irredeemably corrupt and everything. So why do we have to vote this person? Why are we celebrating every time we have a new Black mayor or whatever in these? Why do we do it? You know, what do we gain from that? Only thing we gain is symbolic stuff. Somebody that looks like us is in a position of power, and I cringe when I see now that the Black politicians don't really engage the Black community. It's not engaged the Black community. The only time they engage the black community is when there's somebody racial shooting and everything. There's no end to that, you know. They show there, we're emotional. And so what happens is they keep doing that enough, right? There's no issues on the table. There's no, this is what we can do to. There's a lot of black organizations that are ready to build the community, enterprise zones and everything. But these people that we elect, the black political class, aren't interested in that, you know, because if you start solving the problems in the community, you don't need them anymore. And those people get money from going on talk shows, and it's an ego thing, you know. So they always got to keep us in a constant state of the boogeyman. We're saving you from the white boogeyman that's going to get you, you know. And so that's what it is. And so they're like LeBron James, oh, we're sick of being hunted down and killed. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. How tall is LeBron? 6'7", 6'8"? 6'8". This nigga is talking about he's scared. He's so scared and whatnot, you know. And everything. And this is what you have. This is what you have in Black America. And so this is what you have. This is what you have. You have Colin Kaepernick. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. You got a guy who didn't have the black experience growing up, who's mixed race. They're not even black and whatnot, you know, and he's a spokesperson now. And if you say anything about him or not, oh, yeah, Cap and all stuff like this. This is what it is. And the media eats this up, right? Because what they want to do is discredit us.
Yeah, the football, making $1 million a year playing football, slavery.
Slavery, you know. And so the bottom line is this: anybody who's reasonable in Black America, if you're a reasonable, rational black man in America, you must feel frustrated right now, because the bottom line is this: if the Black America that we wanted and everything, that's gone. You know, the black political class have failed and everything. And there's no end in sight to the degradation, the crime, you know, the despair. We're the only group of people, Dynas, right, that has a gender war going on between black males and black females that's not abating, not letting up. Black women, black men are no good, trashing us, no matter how hard we work, whatever like that, how many decent black men out there and everything. The overall consensus is black men are no good. You see that one big sister on TikTok, right? That hippopotamus, you know? She was like, black men have failed one night. And everybody's like, who the hell are you talking about? Black men have failed. They failed. You should look on TikTok. She was just going off. And everybody's like, sister, who are you talking about? Why are you saying black men are failing? Black men are failing. Black men are failing. No, black men you know are failing. You know, type of black men you are attracted to are failing. You know? And so therefore, not only that, you're going to live your life in America and die, right? And live an old age and marry. If America is supposed to be your end game, right? You're going to go off as people X, people that didn't exist. No matter what you did, you could be an excellent employee, excellent business owner, everything like that, right? You're still seen as this victim and this thing that's never achieved anything. You always look at we're not a free people.
Right.
We're not a free people, because everything we do in America is predicated on our relationship with so-called white people. Racism is bad. Racism is bad. Racism is bad. Well, we can't do anything about racism. Well, what do? Well, you know, racism is bad. So okay. Well, how does that mean? Like Denzel Washington said, why can't we raise our kids? Why can't we teach them values, morals, and why can't we build work? But if racism is so bad, why do we basically got to hate each other? Why are we killing each other? No, that's not the problem and everything like that. It's the police that shoot somebody and everything. Well, the statistics say that most of the people who are killed are non-black. By police are non-black. That's just raw, you know. But it doesn't matter now, because of the emotionalism in Black America. They said defund the police. Now you got whole communities that are out of control. Right. New York City is a hellhole.
Los Angeles.
Well,
you know what's crazy, Colin? They're now like in LA, they're literally pulling up on people broad daylight. Like broad daylight.
Yeah.
Robbing people. Broad daylight in public.
I seen it in Philly, you know, this group of people, a white couple, two white couples out coming from a dinner. Cars roll up and rob people at gunpoint in Philadelphia just yesterday, you know, right on camera. They don't care anymore, you know. And so therefore, this is what you have in Black America. This is what the Black political class has brought us, right? And the bottom line is, if you think this is going to go away, you think white people are going to say, white people don't forget this shit, you know? Right. They don't forget this. And the bottom line is what's coming down the pike, right there. They're setting black people up for something that's going to be beyond. I don't even want to be here when it happens. You know.
All right, go into detail, Colin.
No, the bottom line is this. Bottom line, it's for the longest time, the racists have said if we don't keep black people under control, they're going to take over our. I've heard this for years, right? They're going to take over our cities. They're gonna run riot. We're gonna lose our civilization. We don't keep black people under control at all times. That means the fear of the death penalty, fear of prison, fear of losing your job, all these things that they said like that. And we always argue back saying that no, we're civilized. We can live in a civilized society, right? We can live in. And then what this does is discredits black people on the international stage. People was like, if you guys can't get along in the richest country in the world, why do we want you here?
Right.
You know, and that happens, you know. Fortunately, a lot of our brothers and sisters in Africa know better, you know, at least because the people they come across with us and they say, yeah, these are the type of African Americans, you know, we know our people aren't like that. But the thing is, though, the image of black people in America, because we don't distance ourselves from this dysfunction. We know it's part of our community, but we don't distance ourselves and we don't address it. We don't attack it enough, right? So if we take ownership of this, right, then they're justified in what they were saying for years, that black people are just animals, we're just caged beasts, we're not human, and all stuff like this.
Right.
And then a lot of white people are like, no, you're being racist. And then white people are only human, right? They keep seeing this crime. They keep seeing these the crime out of control and everything like that every night. I told you yesterday in my office complex, a lady was murdered yesterday. They caught the two dudes, you know.
In your office complex?
In my office complex, the end of my office complex, right? A lady was 65-year-old lady was murdered, you know? It was murdered, Virginia Beach. Look it up, Virginia Beach. The two dudes were caught on Haygood Road, right there. That's what my office complex is. They were caught today, right? They had a stolen Lexus, right? They abandoned a stolen Lexus. I guess the dumb motherfuckers don't understand. They could get prints off it, you know? And they tracked them down. They finally got them. It was like two brothers, 18, 19 years old, you know? Murder, try to car.
You know what's crazy, Colin? It's the people behind these crimes are so young.
They're young. Because the bottom line is this is what it is. We as a community, right? We don't know how to stand up to people and say, look, you know something. I listen to your rap lyrics, right? You're not with us. You know, we see. It used to be a time, right, where black people control the medium in Black America. We talked about John Johnson, right? Jet Magazine, everything. If you wasn't on Jet Magazine and everything like that, we had our own record labels and everything like that. We had our own radio stations in more urban areas. But when Clear Channel and Radio One and iHeart bought up all these media, they don't care about that, right? There's no black community. There is no black community anymore. We used to have our own distinct music, our own culture, our own way of life. We had our own award shows, everything, you know. When we had that, we were able to check ourselves, you know. We were able to say this was right and this was wrong, you know, because you won't be invited. Worst thing in the world is if there's an award show going on and whatnot, and all these black people getting together and everything, Motown and everything like that, and the people talk about what they did for the community and everything. And you're the one on the sideline and whatnot. And the only way play people where you show is on a white award shows, but that's changed over the years. Now, if you're not on the white rich the shows like the Grammys and everything, you don't exist.
Right.
Now we put more stock in the white shows and the white venues and everything like that. So there's no thing. And look who people who don't have our best interests. People have no care. It used to be a time where. I mean, Sammy Davis show you always say, look, I always represent my people. You know, I'm not going to sell out, you know, and people always got up there, whether it was a sports entertainer, whether it was Muhammad Ali, whoever like that, they always understood that we're a people and I got to represent my people. People could have sold out years ago. They could have done what Lizzo and Megan Thee Stallion and all stuff like that. Cardi, they could have did that decades ago. While people
why didn't they?
Because we had morals, we had values, you know what I'm saying? We knew we were a people. You know, we knew we were connected to our African roots. You know who we were. We knew it. Now you got a thing where people are celebrating interracial marriage, they're celebrating LGBTQ, and also all this chaos and all the stuff like that. We don't know who we are. and our community is the vehicle for all this immorality and stuff like that. We used to be the moral authority of America, at one time.
Right.
But now, look at our community. Our community, you look at pictures from the 1940s and stuff like that. Harlem was just the most immaculate. People didn't go out in public unless they were dressed immaculate. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What the hell happened? That's when we were so-called segregated. We integrated with them and everything like that, and all the role models and stuff like that we used to have in our community that people looked up to and everything, they're gone.
Right.
So, and the bottom line is this, and then not only that, now people want to talk about
You there, Kala? Kala, we lost you. Guys, make sure you hit that like button again. Please hit the like button. Also, please go to dynastymir.com. Go to dynastymir.com tour. We have tours coming up. Please join us if you're interested. April, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria in August for the Oshun Festival. April, citizenship opportunities will be available for those who qualify. Make sure you have that African ancestry DNA test. Let me find out what's going on with Kala. He got snatched up by the body snatchers. Hold on one second. Kala, we lost you. Your screen is black.
Okay, hold up, brother.
Okay. All right, Kala's coming back, guys. Again, hit that like button. What we'll do, we'll go ahead and open up the lines. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, link is in the chat room. Again, links in the chat room. If you want to call in and add to the conversation, link is in the chat room. Come and join the conversation, y'all. Please come and join the conversation. We would love to have you on the tube with us. Here we go. Here goes Kala. All right, go ahead, Kala. You're back.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. A girl she buzzed through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just gotta tell her I'm on the show. Love you. All right. Yeah. She's buzzed through and that. What was I saying? So the bottom line is this: you look at the before we integrated into, we wanted the integration into America so bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to America, first of all, we're in a bad situation, in America, right? From the beginning of time, we're brought here into a country, right? A racist country. Racism was formed by the complete abomination of the African in North America. The African was basically dehumanized, right? Probably not even dehumanized, right? Dehumanized. We were basically animalized. I don't even think animals were treated worse. When you call somebody the N and the way we were treating everything, we were not even human. Any sort of thing that in ancient times I studied slavery and everything, it never reached the level that we had in America. So then after slavery, right, white people realized that these people are genetically a threat to their society, right? That's why people talk about, we're going to integrate. That means that white people don't want to mix with black people. White people don't want to mix with you. That's what it is. Integration means one day your daughter's gonna marry your daughter and everything like that. And if that's your end game and everything, that means you don't have no interest in building your own community and everything. Then that puts you in a situation. Well, if you don't believe in integration, that means that you're a racist yourself. Well, I don't know. Am I a racist? And black people are in this catch-22. We're not in a position of strength and power because the overwhelming thing is if you say, look, I don't want to denigrate black people and everything like that. Well, you're one of these black racists. How am I black racist and everything? White people have all the mechanisms to preserve themselves, right? They got the power, the money, and they got everything, right? But a black man is supposed to be like, we're always supposed to be like searching, trying to lose ourselves and whatnot, And I said to myself, don't black people have any pride? That's why we had the black pride thing in the 60s, We're proud of who we, we're proud we are. But then they started with white pride, right? white pride, right? And then black people said, well, maybe I was doing something wrong. Then it's like all pride. Let's stop saying black pride. Hopefully, white people stop saying white pride, right? So it's this whole back and forth. Black people had the NAACP, even though the garbage organization. White people created the National Association of White People. You know, black people have Black Lives Matter. White people put all White Lives Matter. You know, everything they do is a back and forth with white people in America, right? And it's back and forth with white America, and we just keep losing and everything because we don't want to build relationship with other people. And my whole thing is this. The whole thing is this. Now that we're building relationship with our brothers and sisters in Africa, they don't know. It's like we're losing. So, are you losing interest in America? Yes. We just say that the it's over. You know, it's over. In other words, basically, Dynast, it's time when it's time for a divorce. It's time for a divorce, right?
Right.
This is what we when you see us Pan-Africanists, right? Make no mistake. This is a divorce proceedings. But this is a divorce. We're beginning. You know, we can't just divorce right away. It's got to be alimony. There's got to be all these things. You know,
we're not getting none of that shit, Colin. We ain't getting
yeah,
no
but I'm
alimony.
saying we just got to be some sort of, okay, who's gonna split this up, whatever, like that. But the bottom line is this. This idea of America being integrated and stuff like that the black politicians keep trying to sell us on. It's over with. Because what example can you tell me if the black politicians say, you know something, you guys need to stop this national Pan-African stuff and stuff like that. Because okay, well then show me your glorious city of Detroit, you know. Right. Gary, Indiana, did I send you that video? Gary, it's completely abandoned.
I don't understand why. I don't get it, Colin.
I told you, this is what happened. This is exactly what happened, right? And I studied this for decades, right? It's like this. This is what it is. It's happened. Same thing happened in DC. Black people, we don't have heart. We're not honest with ourselves, right? We're not honest with ourselves. We wanted Gary, Indiana. Oh, the chocolate city, black city, and everything like that. White people pulled that capital out of the city, right?
Right, left.
You have no bond. You have no municipal bonds, everything like that, right?
Right.
So, and then the U.S. Steel and all these other people shut down the steel mills. Same thing what happened in Detroit and all these other places, right? White people who have found that they could make more money building factories and industrial plants in China for cheaper, right? And then you had NAFTA, right? You had all these factories. So the one thing black men were always able to good at up until the 70s was you can get a blue collar job and have a family, blue collar family. That's gone. So therefore, the blue collar, which we was always primarily blue collar people, that's gone. Factories and everything like that my father was and everything like that came up, everything that's gone. So therefore, you have a whole cities, right, that basically are completely abandoned, completely gone, died. Now, I'm not saying it's the black leadership's fault, but they should have been honest with us, right, when they said, look, we have no ability to bring capital here. Now, the exception was Atlanta, okay, with Maynard Jackson. Now, Maynard Jackson basically said, you know something, I see what y'all doing, right? All these companies, U.S. companies that don't want to build factories there. You see it's a black city, so you try economic star. He learned from Gary, right? So what he did was, first thing he did was he got federal dollar. He built the airport, and then he invited foreign companies, right? Because they don't know any better. He said, look, we're going to give you land as a proximity to build their factories and industries, right? In Atlanta, right? It said Atlanta. Okay, you got Chicago right there. It's centrally located. You got Chicago, everything. So they're just, okay, well, we're going to build a factory here. We're going to save money and everything like that. Why build it? We could build our factory and our industries over here in Atlanta, whatever right here, rather than pose a building somewhere out in Missouri, and we have access to these markets right here because you had internet thing you built there. That was Maynard Jackson. And that was a really big thing. But ask 10 black people, do you know who Maynard Jackson was?
Hey guys, with that being said, there's an excellent documentary on Maynard Jackson on Netflix. Excellent. Man, excellent documentary.
Yeah, so people know who Maynard Jackson was.
And I want to say like with Maynard Jackson, even with the white contractors or bidders, he was like, look, you need to put your money in black banks, or he did
Yeah, he
something.
did a lot. He did a lot of
Yeah,
that. You know,
yeah, yeah.
we had black investment bonds and some of everything. You know,
Mhm.
and so he built a whole black middle class on
Or,
that.
or what happened? I think like if it was a white contractor who wanted to do business in Atlanta. They had to use black vendors or partner with black companies. And
Right.
he was straight up about it.
And he wasn't no joke. You
Yeah.
know, people know who Andrew Young was because Andrew Young didn't do nothing. You know, but run his
Hmm.
mouth and everything like that. But Maynard Jackson was a businessman. You know, but a
Yeah.
lot of black people don't follow those business models that he did. You know,
Hmm.
everything was socialism, government programs. You know, we think we could socialize our way out of this and whatnot. He took the way of building private industry and employing black people and everything, and he built the middle class there, the black middle class there. And that's the reason why the Ku Klux Klan was killing black kids in Atlanta, child murders, right?
Right.
Because they weren't, see, white people, this is another myth. White people, the racists, right? They're not triggered by black failure. They're triggered by black success.
Right.
Like a lot of white people look at these cities and, oh man, these poor black folks, they just kill each other, they're hopeless and everything. They don't care about that, so long as you don't come
Hmm.
in their neighborhood. But
Right.
the moment you start with the same resource, everything starts having success. Now you got a problem. Why? Because it
Right.
goes against their whole idea that we're an inferior race of people, that we can't do anything and everything. And we
Right.
don't showcase, that's another thing. We don't showcase our black people winning. You know, our black people that are winning, right? That have beat the system, like Reginald Lewis, right? His birthday was
Right.
this too. Same thing month.
Mm.
He was been 79 years old. You know,
Everybody, Reginald Lewis's book, Why Do White Guys Have All the Fun, is available on Audible
yeah.
as
And
well.
which we call, check us out. This man became the world's first black billionaire. You
Right.
know, he was an African American slave descendant, just like you and I, you know, and he
Mm.
basically became the world's first black billionaire, you know, and he basically was like, yeah, he learned how to do the leverage buyouts and stuff like that for
Right.
Beatrice Foods and became the world's first black billionaire, you know. And so therefore, everybody could credit him for if you see a black person as a billionaire now, that's who started it. And that was in the 1980s, you know. And matter of fact, if you aggregate the value what he now, he's probably the richest man that ever lived. He was worth $3 billion right back in the 80s, right?
Hmm.
So adjusted to inflation, you would say what he was worth like 13, 14 billion, you know,
Hmm.
if
Right.
he had to go into today's money and everything. So therefore, yes, we do have, like George Fraser wrote, "Success runs in our race." The
Hold on
problem
one
is,
second. Hey, Hun 89, call in. I like to hear this story. She said, I told a so-called think tank of black people about Reggie Lewis in the late 90s and got attacked.
oh yeah, call in. I would like to hear that story.
Yeah, I like to hear that story. Call in, Hun 89.
Yeah, that's the war we're gonna have to have.
Hmm.
That's the war. That's the war we're gonna have. These stupid black people who sit around. They don't want to see nobody black people. Nobody black get rise, and nobody black people get up, and it's always down and out and everything. And this is wonder why we're in the situation we're in. We gotta look to rappers. Now I heard that Ti and Killer Mike are buying some more black restaurant that shut down,
Yeah,
and
Bankhead Seafood.
yeah, Bakehead Seafood on that. And I'm like, okay, that's fine and everything. But you mean to tell me this is who we have to have, a guy who runs a strip club and have a crack trap museum and whatnot? That's what's leading us now. It's so bad. Atlanta's so toxic right now. The city that Maynard Jackson built is so toxic right now. White people are trying to succeed from it. You know?
Buckhead. City of
Yeah,
Buckhead.
yeah. What's the latest on that? You know?
It's gonna be tough. But you know what's crazy, Kala? On one hand, it's like, okay, they're racist, right? The racists
Mhm.
want to succeed. So I'm like, okay, well, let them succeed. Then the argument is, well, we need that tax base.
Yeah. So no, oh, black, we got white people trapped. If you're rich, we want your money. We're like a parasite class. We're becoming parasites. We talk all this black power stuff and whatnot. If we got some black power. How come we can't? Well, why do we need white people for Gary? White people pulled out of Gary, succeeded from Gary, and we went to hell. Black people, Birmingham, Alabama. They're like black people, like y'all ain't going nowhere. You know, They basically saying y'all ain't going nowhere. If y'all
Right.
wherever y'all go, white people can go to the Mars tomorrow, and these Negroes will be on the spaceship following them. Y'all ain't going nowhere. I mean, really. White people say, you know something, we had enough. Y'all can have the planet Earth. Negroes will be, oh, nah, man. Mars life matter and whatnot. We got to go to Mars and whatnot. Yeah, like, yo, man, white people want to get away. They want to go on another planet. Negroes will follow them to Mars. They'll follow them to another next galaxy. You know.
Hold on, Hunt 89. There's a link I put in the chat room, Hunt 89. You click on that link, okay? Is it the link's in the chat room? Click on the link. All right, go ahead, Colin.
Yeah, so the bottom line is this: we basically have a problem in Black America, right? They give us communities, right? And they all and bottom line is this: and I, even though I attack the Black political class, I know there's a bunch of opportunists, right? Just like I had a discussion with one of my friends tonight about Dr. Arikana. I said, look, he said, well, at least she's doing something. I said, I don't care. That doing something is not doing it. And he was talking about Al Sharpton. But Carla, Al Sharpton doing something, I said, I don't care anymore. I don't care about that anymore. Doing something is not good enough anymore for us. Doing something and just being seen and everything while you're failing is not. We have never held people accountable for their failure. Okay, you've been in office for decades. Look at your district. Look at your community. What have you done? Well, white supremacy. And like, no, you had all the means to organize our community, organize us and whatnot, build a tax base, build communities, build families and everything, and yet you failed. You could have made our communities safe. You could have made our communities a place to live in and thrive and everything, but you failed. Why? Because you pigeonhole to the lowest common denominator in our community, the rabble rousers and the troublemakers and all these other people that basically don't want to do anything. And the majority of Black people are held hostage in a community that don't serve them at all. And that's the truth.
All right, go ahead, Tony.
Hello?
Tony, you got to turn off the playback, brother.
Let's see.
Tony, you got to turn off the playback.
All right, go ahead, Tony.
Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
Well, I get right to it. Something's going on with my system. I can't mute out the playback.
No, you're good. You're good, Tony. Go ahead. You're good. Go ahead.
And I can't hear you guys, but I'll say what needs to be said, and I'd like to hear what Brother Kala has to say. So this was in the late 90s. Somebody came to the community when I was living in LA, and they said, okay, we're going to set up a Black think tank. Well, that was something that I was familiar with, but I'd never been in one. And the gentleman who set it up, what he really was doing, he had a nonprofit and he was just looking for some free help. That's another story for another day. But in one of the meetings, we were talking about, guess what? Solutions this was like maybe 96. And we were talking about the year 2000. And so I've been studying Reggie Lewis, man, since the 80s. I read his book. So how come we don't get to have all the fun or whatever? And the guy was quite a personality. He was a maverick. He was a self-made man. And the thing was, as you know how our people do, we're always looking for holes in the story. So he was married to an Asian woman.
Mm-hmm.
And so I said, well, look. And it was a room full of sisters in where we were at. And we were all younger. This was, like I said, 96. I said, the fact that he is married to an Asian woman, because I had been to the Orient, I knew that there's a certain discipline in their cultures. I said, it's a strong possibility he could not have got it done if he wasn't married to an Asian woman. I didn't put the sisters down, but that was all that they needed to, well, no, it's not like that, and da-da-da. The same arguments we have today, 20-some years later, 2.5 generations later, still catching an L. We just didn't have no social media. So I said, let's look at what he did as a blueprint for success, because that's the most important thing. It doesn't matter who he's married to. It's what was in the man's mind that got him to where he was. He knew the game. He knew how to leverage before anybody in our community knew what the word leverage was. He knew how to make deals where everybody won. That's what made him successful. It had nothing to do with who he was sleeping with. Everything with us always comes back to some bed buddy time. And that's another way that we've been conquered. So So as I started doing a platform and I started doing radio myself, and I always bring him up. Always. I said, look, we focus on athlete millionaires and the whole bit. I know Magic Johnson personally. I remember when he first came to town. I cashed a check for him. I was a teller in a bank. Okay. My boss, she didn't even know who he was. I said, that's Magic Johnson. I don't care who he is. You can't cash a check if you don't have an account. We're always behind everything. And so, and in those days, he was Dr. Buss's son from another mother. So he could have done anything. He could have brought millions to that, but I digress. The point with Reggie Lewis is the same thing Cal is saying, the same thing you say, Prince Stein, it's the same thing I've told people. The problem with our people is that we expect to be taken care of by a system that doesn't need us anymore. When it needed us, it did take care of us, but we're obsolete. That's not a diss on black people. And I'm sorry, not sorry, but woke consciousness does not count. Doesn't move the needle one bit.
Don't.
Can get mad at you, get mad at Prince Dinus, get mad at me, get mad at anybody for saying the truth. But denial is not just the name of river in Egypt. We're going to have to do something different because we're in an existential crisis. They don't want to hear brother that usually comes on your show, Dinus. They don't want to hear him either. You get mad at him.
Brandon?
Brother, from
Pan African Tribes back.
Homeboy.
Oh.
You know, you get mad at him. He's telling you what to do.
I think he's talking about Fitzgerald.
You're showing what to do. Kyle, me and you in the same age group. I've been rolling with you for the last 10 years, Blog Talk Radio days.
Oh yeah,
the story hasn't changed.
Yeah,
the story hasn't changed. There's no holes in it, but we want to follow a personality. We want to get beat out of something because at the end of the day, subconsciously, as a group, we want to be loved by somebody who doesn't love us.
We want pity and sympathy.
Fight and switch. I don't really take up a whole lot of time. I'm trying to figure out, Dinus, how can I get into the conversation? Because when if I turn my speakers off, then it turns my mic off.
No, what you do, you just mute your.
I can't even hear you now, brother. Okay. Let me try this.
You mute your.
You know what?
Playback.
I'll just
the playback.
I'll just listen offline because I can't hear you, and I want to hear your response. And Kyle, I've been trying to get in touch with you. I'll send you an email, brother, because
what you call
and we need to pick where we left off. And Dinus, I also want to talk to you about some things. We have to think about Africa now. We can't do anything for this. It's a rotten tree right now. It's nothing we can do to save this because everything that's happening to us was put in motion 50 years ago. We've got a weaponized hood, weaponized women. We've got birth control that is being manipulated in part by unwilling. I'm not beating up on anybody that chooses alternative lifestyle. That's your business. But if you're not procreating, then you're dying. That's nature. It ain't got nothing to do with us. So I'm gonna go off the air so I can hear what you have to say, and I'll get in touch with both of you guys via email later. I'm doing some things you both need to be a part of, and I want to connect you guys with some other people, especially you, Dinus. There's some people on the ground in Uganda that you need to know. I have respect for what Shay is doing, but he's taking care of brothers looking for a date in all respect. There's another level to it, and Kyle, you know what I'm talking about. I'm not dissing anybody. We need to procreate, but we need to do some other stuff too.
Yeah.
Thank you both for everything.
All right, Tony. All right, brother. Much love, brother.
All right, go ahead, Kyle.
I got somebody in the chat room saying Kyle sounds like Uncle Ruckus. Why don't you call in and tell me that to my face? Clown. Those cowards. Anyway, what he was saying was absolutely 100% right, man. We basically we at a crossroads, Diane. We as black men, right? We have never ever made this decision, right? Like we're doing. That's a serious thing. We're still hoping that America is going to change. We still have this hope that even when we're doing our Pan-African and stuff. I got a lot of Pan-Africans I see on YouTube and stuff like that, and I really doubt that their heart is really in this. They really think this is one day going to go away. Dynasty is going to go away. All is going to go away. It was going to go back to normal and everything. We're going to go back to boot. No, it don't work like that. We're not going anywhere. This is serious. God gave you life on this earth. You have to do something with this life. And beautiful people like the black people in America are dying. Right. We're dying by the masses, but through abortion, through murder, through all this nonsense and everything, just self-hate, everything, all destruction, all the bottom line is that this is how it is, Dinus, right? If you have a community, right, where people are not procreating and building families and everything, they're gonna die. It's a die. So the bottom line, who benefits from that? When you see, one time we used to have Margaret Sanger saw beautiful, and she attacked Black America was at her most beautiful. We have beautiful communities in Detroit. We have beautiful communities in the Palisades in New York and New Jersey. You know, beautiful communities in Connecticut. Beautiful Black communities. You know, say beautiful Black communities. You know, but that was a threat. We will thrive. We'll make it because we were the only minority group in the country, right? So we made we took whatever we had. We built communities like cities like Pittsburgh, you know, Philadelphia, Gary, Indiana, and all that. There would be no motor industry if it wasn't for the Black man's labor. There'll be no New York City if it wasn't for the Black man's labor coming from the Carolinas and everything. We had all the best of Black America. They said, you know something, you know, that's a threat. And so the bottom line, if they didn't accept our people, right, when our women were virtuous, our men were honorable, and they walked down the street with top hat and pipe in their hand and a newspaper in their hand, and they look, and when you went uptown, I said this before, look at any old film and everything. White people, when they went uptown, right, they said, I got to put on my good shoes. I'm going uptown. Uptown, they don't talk about this in Black history, right? Uptown is where the Black people were, the fancy Black people were. We were the pinnacle of New York society, high society. You know, you went uptown, you gotta look right, you gotta look good. You know, you go uptown, people are gonna looking at you. And so the European immigrants coming off the boat were like, whoa, who are these Black people here? You know, who are these Black people? We lost all that. Look at Harlem now. I look at a video the other day of Lenox Avenue and everything like that. You know, people just it's just heartbreaking. And but when people tell me because we elected Barack Obama, we achieved.
We won. Right.
Al Sharpton said Marilyn what's the name? Marilyn Marcos, whatever, the married Prince William, whatever. Oh, we have a Black woman in the royal family. That guy, Al Sharpton, needs to be taken out with a stick and whooped, you know, for saying that. We got a Black woman in the royal family. And then you heard what Prince William said? He said the biggest threat is Africa's overpopulation. Overpopulation. This is a guy you love so much, Black people. You love him. You love Bill Gates. You want to listen to these people. You want to listen to these people. These people want your death. They want your destruction. You know? And so the bottom line is this. We have to basically say, put a period on it, right? These people that we've been listening to, don't let them get you off guard, right? What they'll do is they'll start talking about some vague, abstract thing called white supremacy, racism, everything. Distract you from the fact that they're not doing anything. You know, that's a gimmick. You talk about something that's in the abstract, right? And so therefore people are like, okay, yes, we gotta yes, we have to do this. We have to do this. Well, ho. What do you mean we have to? I remember Chris Rock cornered Al Sharpton on politically incorrect one time, right? Al Sharpton said something, right? And I wish the show was going off, but I wish they would have stayed on. And Al Sharpton said something like, "Saying we have to do this." I said, and Chris Rock said, "To do what?" Well, you know, no, I don't understand. What the hell are you talking about? What do we have to do? I said, he's like, well, you know, that's been good to. And all of a sudden the words start coming up and they cut the sound and everything, you know. And I said, I wonder what Chris Rock was getting at, you know. He was just sitting there listening to Al Sharpton do his bullshit, you know. And he was like, to do what? What's going to change? What are you talking about? You know, and then the show went off one night, you know, but he had Al Sharpton cornered. Al Sharpton like a freaking fool. He was asking, he's like, you know, Al Sharpton, you know, you're full of shit. And the bottom line is, as long as there's racism, you know.
What is it? Say it again.
Racism. There's plenty of racism to go around. Ben Crump, you got some racism. I got some racism. We could all eat off this racism, you know. And so the bottom line is this: the bottom. We all know there's racism. We've been dealing with it for 400 years, but we don't have it as bad as our ancestors had. You know, one thing we do have, we have an ability to deal with Negroes in our community. You know, our ancestors couldn't do that because we had to stick together back in the days. You know, Black people, we had to stick together. Now we don't have to do that anymore. You know, now we can start attacking the people who are not doing anything for our community. And like, is anybody else calling in?
Guys, we'll put the link in. We'll be on for another 11 minutes. So we'll take one more caller. Links in the chat room. Go ahead and
But
call in, guys.
what I want to know is, right, when people call in, I said like this: people, I know people are lying in dormant. I know you Negro demobot Negroes are lying in dormant. You're real silent about Joe Biden, right? Right. Joe Biden has been it's been a year, and not even a year in office, right? Next month will be a year. Not even 11 months a year. He has basically destroyed everything. The hell country's going through a hell in a handbasket, and this is what you voted for. You voted for a man that when it's all said and done, we're gonna have like 20 or 30 African countries banned from a virus that doesn't even exist on the continent. All because he knows it's a black continent, right? He knows that Africa and whatnot. Don't even look at the facts that Africa has actually helped handle COVID better than any other place in the world. Have the lowest number of COVID cases, but it doesn't matter because as black to Joe Biden, it must be doing bad. Africa must be doing poorly. Africa must be doing poorly. So it's okay to ban Africans because black people don't matter. And this is what I try to tell my African brothers and sisters and whatnot. You guys were like, "Oh no, Trump's." I tell you, look, we know. See, we know racists. You don't know them. You don't know these people. We know what a racist. We never thought Trump was a racist. We thought he was a maybe bigoted, whatever like that, pompous, whatever like that. But we know who a real racist are. You African brothers don't know who real racists are. It's something in our DNA in Black America. We could spot racists a mile away. We could see them coming. And you can't. And so therefore, you bought into Joe Biden, right, and to your own detriment. And the bottom line, we're gonna pay for this. We're gonna pay for what we voted for. We're gonna pay for this. And I've never seen anything like this in my life. It was like Simone Sanders.
She
left. I didn't even know that she was working for Kamala Harris. I thought she wanted that.
She left. She left. She quit.
Yeah, she left. She was working for Kamala Harris, right?
Right.
Now she actually really thought she was going to get the vice presidency, and also she thought she was going to be White House spokesman,
White House spokesman, yeah.
Did she? I mean, I'm saying to myself, and let me say something. In all respect to her, right? If it wasn't for her, Joe Biden's presidency would have died because she was the one who rallied black people to Joe Biden's support in the primaries. Right. Joe Biden would not be, and this is a beauty part about white supremacy, right? The best part about white supremacy, dynasties, is right when they no longer need you, right? And you got those sad puppy dog Negro eyes, like, what you gonna do about me or not? They say, come here, bend down, like just a little bit, right? And just enough, right? Okay, right. And then they kick you in the head. That's the best part of it. Thank you, nigga. Boom, and kick you in the head.
All right.
That's what they do all the time, And the bottom line is this: the bottom line is, you have people out there who, now, if that's your thing, right? If you like being played by these people, that's fine. But don't tell me I got to go along with it, right? Don't tell me I got to go along with it. Al Sharpton. Every time you look at Al Sharpton, right, he's up Joe Biden's ass,
Right.
Joe Biden's defecating on himself. When I want Al Sharpton to smell that too, Al Sharpton's everywhere. Oh, he called Al Sharpton Joe Biden. He called Joe Biden Al, my buddy, and everything like that. He's not going to question anything Joe Biden does because he wants to get invited to the White House. It's all about self-aggrandizement, everything. That's what the black political. Can anybody doubt what I'm saying? The black political class only exists for itself. They're a bunch of tyrants. They're a bunch of dictators and everything. They take care of their kids. Their kids go to the best colleges. They got money and everything like that, right? And then they have this idea that you love them so much and everything because you up there and they get to be whatever like that. And the bottom line, and then they have a thing where if you say something, oh, you just a jealous hater. When I'm not a jealous, I'm a. Right. So in other words, what they just did was they just took they call you a citizen, right? But they just took your citizenship away from you,
Right.
Your citizenship, you're the politician. You're supposed to work for me. But the black community got that work around. We work for the politician. If you don't go along with it, then you are out of line. You're a rebel. You're ingrate. you're a sellout, whatever like that. You are like that. It's supposed to be the other way around. But in Black America, it doesn't work like that. We're not supposed to question politicians. All you know is that's somebody up there in the civil rights,
I say it again, Colin.
the civil rights.
Civil rights, silver.
He comes from the civil rights movement, And the bottom line is all you have to do is make sure you go up there and you toe the line. He gets up there, he says pompous speeches and everything. Yeah, we got like this, whatever. But we boxed ourselves into a cold because we took on more than we did. It just escalated now to the point where Black people, the face of anti-police, now we're the face of lawlessness, we're the face of crime, we're the face of everything. We're the face of abortion, we're the face of everything in America that's going wrong. They tried to make us the face of COVID. Everything that's going wrong with America right now. Black America is at the forefront of it. Crime, unemployment, lawlessness, looting and everything like that, victimology and everything, toxic culture and everything, everything, we're at the forefront of it, and the bottom line is those of us who just say, I think it's, I don't think, honestly, Diane's right. Mm-hmm. I really don't think it's ever going to change. I really don't think it's ever going to change. I think the Black political class is going to get worse. Why? Because as long as they could deliver the Black vote to the Democratic Party, right? The Democrat Social Party, it's going to be like that. We're the only group of people where a congressman stays in office for decades, except for exception like Nancy Pelosi, whatever like that. Well, even she was kicked out a couple of times and came back,
Right.
A Black congressman, a Democratic congressman, that when you have a district right there, that's your donation. Elections and democracy be damned. Democracy be damned. When they install your Black politician in that area, he's there for life as long as he does whatever the Democratic leftist Marxists tell him to do. That's why they got rid of Kwame, Kwesi, and Fume. And if you don't toe the line and you try to do something different, they get rid. They primary you and they get rid of you.
Right.
So therefore, there's these Black politicians, mayors and everything. They have no incentive. But I'll tell you what. Let's. But I do give one victory is this. The Black politics in Georgia is changed a little bit. Why? Because we have a lot of Black. Let me say this, right? The Ahmaud Arbery case, right? And we have to give ourselves a hand when we do make progress, right? That was one particular case where there was enough Black people in the circuit court judges and the prosecutor's office and high investigation, right? Looking over that case, right? And basically that case was almost buried by the prosecutor and everything. It was Black people in Georgia. So we got to give ourselves a hand in Georgia for having that much political. And get this, they did this. They brought Justice Ahmaud Arbery without the federal government, without the Office of the Civil Rights. So what does this tell you? Okay, we take Georgia forever, and then and is that in that particular case, right? That's where we need Black leadership and power and whatnot. In cases like that. That's where we need them. If we understand that they can't give us jobs and everything like that, cases like that, we could serve notice that if you're a cop, a road cop, and everything like that, just like we have in Virginia, right? A cop shoots somebody here in Virginia, man. There's Black people in the Commonwealth office is gonna come after you.
Right.
If we have that here in Virginia, in Maryland too, and these states like that. So in these areas like that, we got that part. Now, what we have to have is, at the same time, is we have to tell the police, if you doing the right thing, if you're trying to arrest criminals and get the gangs and drugs, the guns on the street, we got your back. But at the same time, right, you gotta distance yourself from these road cops, these racist cops who just buck wild shooting people and not talking about I'm doing my job. You shot a person coming home from work, or they beat up that one. The cops killed that one kid, a little wimpy kid in California because coming from work, whatever. They killed him. They did a wellness check on him. They tackled him to the ground, whatever. He was coming from work. I forgot his name, and the cops got arrested. 4 cops got charged with murder. I forgot the case.
Yeah, I don't remember.
It was a skinny Black kid. When it was like coming from work, whatever, like that, And the cops, just like, well, what are you doing out here, whatever, like that. They were just like checking on one another, like that. I don't know what happened, but the cops ended up using excessive force and he died. It was happened like 2 years ago. Anyway, but the case is now just coming to court. But the bottom line is this: it's not a zero-sum game. We can go after road cops and police brutality, like Derek Chauvin and everything. At the same time, right here, we want the police, right, to be fully weaponized and tackling the gangs and the crime in our community. Look, I don't care what anybody say. When it comes down to these people that are terrorizing Black America, because that's what it is. Black people live right now in terror. If you don't know that, then you're not talking to the average Black person. The average Black person lives in terror. Lives in terror. You can't go to the store, without something happening. You're gonna be in a drive-by shooting. You're gonna get stuck up and everything. You're gonna get shot and killed. You're gonna get this altercation. And you're gonna end up dead. Just last night, a basketball game, right? Last night, Dinas, in Newport News. Altercation happened in the parking lot. Kid gets killed in the parking lot, right? After a basketball game, Newport News, Virginia, right? I wrote to the thing, the one, I said, yeah, this is gun violence or something. And the one Black sister was like, well, it was only just one shot. I said, that's one shot too many. She goes, well, y'all make it seem like there was a bunch of shootouts and whatnot. It was just only one shot. I said, how do you freaking sound? So it was just one shot. Well, we had a lovely night at that game when that was a peaceful game one night. So in other words, okay, we're making progress. One shot, one person killed.
One shot. One shot.
We're making progress here, So therefore, we have to have these conversations like the brothers are talking about. We have to have these conversations because right now we've lost our community. And we lost our way because people are too scared to say what needs to be said, right? Said. We didn't follow all the people that could have led Black America. They weren't fancy enough. They weren't loud enough. All the people that we could have followed and could have built something in our community, we didn't listen to them. Instead, we listened to the charlatans and we listened to all the people that we listen to rappers. Rappers have now got an influence on our community and whatnot. They got sports stars. That's what white people go to. When you think they're worried about 22 elections, Dinas? No, because they're gonna bring out LeBron James. I'll call it now. They're going to bring out LeBron James. They're going to bring out Jay-Z. They're going to bring out Beyonce. They're going to bring out all these people out here and everything. John Legend, who's a weirdo. They're going to bring out all these people out here and everything. And they're going to basically make us, they're going to force us to the poll. We're going to be out there. Diane's going to be like, Colin, what are you doing? I got to go to the poll. Colin, stop. Colin. Where's my ballot? I got to vote for
we got go ahead, Black Lion. You're the last caller. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you. But I've been listening to you guys, and you guys are 100% correct. Especially Caller here. The truth is, even I'm starting to realize that the majority of our community, we're not really mature at all to handle these kind of politics. We're not at that level at all. Hell, we're barely admitting the fact that we need to be together. We're too psychologically and intellectually immature to make these kind of serious decisions.
Right.
And the reality is, a lot. I'm in a way, I don't vote, but it's a blessing in disguise that I'm glad Joe Biden and Kamala are in office because now
but exposed everything.
Exactly. And the sad part is, it further explains the ignorance with our community of what we do under emotional pressure.
Yep.
Like I said in the last last chat about this, if you're gonna vote for any side, at least get something out of it. I don't care if it's just one thing. At least get something out of it. And the sad reality is literally nothing. We're nothing more in the modern plantation, especially when it comes to politics. We're not. The majority of us are not ready, and the majority of us are not mature to make these serious kind of political decisions.
We're not.
And the sad part. Yeah, exactly. So, in the sad part,
actually regressed. Black people in America has actually regressed over the last 20, 30 years.
Exactly. Bingo. Because the sad truth is, like I said, like before, like we literally have all the knowledge of every African American scholar and activist in books to tell us how to fight this and how to deal with this the best way we can. Even before we had access to Africa and before we got access to the continent, but we're still not listening. It's not a lack of knowledge anymore. It's just a lack of. Just more ignorance and stupidity.
So we like being ignorant. The bottom line is this: if had somebody in the chat room saying, "Carla, tell me what I said that sounded like Uncle Ruckus," because I would put my foot up your ass, I'll put my foot up your ass, I'll tell you how dusty you are. There's always these dusty Negroes when live in his mama's basement, calls on Uncle Ruckus when I won't call up on the show and say that to my face, But these dusty Negroes, we let these. Let me tell you something. These dusty troll Negroes are terrorizing Black America through social media, And people like this.
Don't get me started.
You know what I'm talking about, Black Lion. You know exactly what I'm talking about. These dusty Negroes, right? I'm like, then I asked him, so, motherfucker, you just made like 3 TikToks today. Don't you have a job? Don't you have anything, productive? Like you and you calling for your dusty basement and whatnot, taking over the world. They're sitting in that dusty basement, dictating shit to Black America. Nigga, who the hell are you? We get intimidated because we don't know. We don't have sovereignty and dominion over our soul and existence. That's why anybody can come in and tell us anything. We're like, I guess you must be right. No, Negro, I know right from wrong and good and bad and everything. I know what's like that, and I'm gonna say it like this. Well, Kyle, I don't give a damn. People are like, oh, Kyle, look, I'm the one person. I don't give a damn who doesn't like me. I don't give a damn what people think about me. I'm gonna tell it like it is.
We have to
buy me. You can't buy salvation. You can't buy salvation. I tell it like it is, and people after a while, people are like, yo, Colin, man, something. Yeah, I was like, don't be scared, just say it. Yeah, Colin, you're right. Okay, you're right. And I say the same thing about people going to the continent. Look, there's things you're doing things wrong. We do dusty things in America. We go over around the world. We do dusty stuff and whatnot. And then I get this. Usually, when people don't know what they're doing, they'll fail. They'll come back and everything. But these Negroes will put what they're doing on blast or on TV. Look, I'm dusty. I failed, man. And like that. And they'll say, see, look at this guy. He went to Africa and he failed. And when he's come back, what's that got to do with the rest of us? Yeah, the same thing. So the bottom line is we just have to basically be as men own up to like I said. I'm going to cut you off, Black Lion. Gary, Indiana, right? I don't know how we could have preempted that because then again, how did Maynard Jackson do that, right? And the mayors in Gary and Detroit couldn't do what Maynard Jackson did. I don't know. What was it about Maynard Jackson in Atlanta in the Deep South, right? They was able to, maybe because Maynard Jackson wasn't scared of the white people, That's what I think it was too.
That's what it was.
I think that's what it was, That has to be because Black people, Black political class in the North are terrified of the white political machine. They're terrified, Yeah. Like look when Marion Barry stepped out of line and whatnot. Guess what? You saw what they did to him, right?
Right.
Oh yeah. And they say, this could happen to you. We got dirt on you. They set them up with prostitutes. We got videotape on you. You don't know what these people hold. If somebody got me right, say, Colin, see, man, that trip you made over in Rwanda one night, you thought you was over your own. We got you in a video, girl. Like, oh man, y'all got me. What do you want? I'm like, something,
exactly.
Man. Man. I know everybody's gonna hate me and everything like that, but I'm sorry. So what? Yeah, you got me. But I'm not gonna change. But this is what happens. These guys put up this image out there that they're squeaky perfect and everything, and then next thing you know, they're exposed, and when they don't, they expose, and that's what it is. We just got to get more better men and women that are this guy honorable. We don't look at people's character before we put them up, put our trust in people. I could be wrong, man, but I just think that and we invested so much in these people, like we let Jesse Jackson go murder. At 62 years old, he had a love child, but yet he shows up and demands a seat at Whitney Houston's funeral. Remember that? He remember that he said, "Look, he basically bum rushed the stage, and got a chair for himself on a thing." I'm like, you weren't related to Whitney Houston. What the hell are you doing? Anywhere there's the cameras and attention, you got to be there. Look how narcissistic our entertainers are. Beyonce wants to play Storm. Isn't it enough that Beyonce was just on the red carpet at the Grammys and everything? Isn't it enough that you got to get now you want to come into the Marvel universe and invade our space of the Marvel universe and everything because you want to you can't just. I knew this right when Black Panther came out. All these Black people, I got to be in that. I got to be in that, right? Because anywhere where Black people's attentions are and everything like that, They feel they got to be. It's all egomaniacal behavior and everything. Say that's fine, right? If you're an actor, but when you're a politician, and everything, and you're just out there just for your own ego and your own, and that's all it is. You know, we don't care. You ask them, what did your politician do for you in your city? I don't know, but they showed up at the Grammy Awards and they did the Dougie. They did the Dougie. You know, and they could do the Dougie and all the stuff like this. And this is what you have. And so Lance Bottoms is like, you know, she's just like, I'm done. You know, more power to her. I don't know what she's gonna do next, but Atlanta, you know, like I said, the TIs and the Killer Mikes and all these other people, the Jeezys and all the people, they have it, man. You know. So Black Atlanta, I asked the question of Black Atlanta. What are you gonna do? You know, what are you gonna do? You got a black middle class Atlanta, and you're being represented by people who advocate and sell the worst poisons and stuff to our community. You know, you want to listen to what they vote and everything. What do you think about that, Black Lion?
Man, I'll be pretty honest with you guys overall. I'm very careful as to who I get involved with, especially for black people in a serious political circle. Because
you live in Atlanta?
Huh? Oh no, I live in California. I'm trying to move to Atlanta, hopefully the next year or the year after that.
Would you advise that? Dinas, would you advise him moving to Atlanta?
No.
Trust me, it's better than California.
I would say this: move out of California, but I wouldn't come to Atlanta.
Move out of California, yes.
Oh shit!
I'll go to Florida before.
Come to Virginia or Delaware. Delaware is an untapped state. Delaware is an untapped state. You're not too far from New York. And then again, you got Philly right next door, you know, and everything.
Okay.
But Delaware is a nice, beautiful state. You never hear black people in Delaware complain. Why? Because black people in Delaware got money, they got jobs, and they're living good. They got land, they build houses, nice communities and everything. I'm not talking about Wilmington, Delaware. I'm talking about like in Delmarva and Dover area. Black people look like they're doing very well down there, you know, Delaware.
Okay.
You know, they got jobs and everything like that and stuff like that. So you never hear black people complaining about Delaware. You know, you got huge black middle class. But I think the population is black, you know. Yeah. And so it's the best kept secret. You don't see the thing. That's another thing. You can't. Every time we talk about a black area, right? The first thing that comes into your mind is Chicago, Detroit, Atlanta, all the hells on earth. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's hidden black communities, right? That these people want to keep hidden because they don't want certain Negroes there. You know. That are doing really well, you know. Delaware is one of them. I don't mean to put Delaware on black. They probably shoot me for saying, don't tell them. Okay. But the bottom line is there's places in places in Maryland that are really, really well. Places in Virginia that are really, really well. The black North Carolina, you know. There's
North Carolina. How about that?
Yeah, and there's a lot of black communities, well-established black communities and everything. And we have to start bunkering down in the areas that we have left in America. I don't want to give up everything in America, but what we do have left, because we're not going to keep everything, you know. That's why we got to make this Africa, you know. But what we do have, you know, we just try to keep it, you know.
Right.
And how we keep it is, you know, we have to basically declare a psychological, mental, and physical war against the ages of chaos in Black America, you know. All these entertainers pushing garbage, everything. We have to do it.
It's funny you mentioned that real quick. I want to say something like that. I was talking to my mother and some of my other friends about this, and I often said, if African Americans don't literally, I understand the big migration for African Americans is literally going back to the South and everything, and we were talking about this, like if African Americans don't take back at least have a good foot on the ground in the South, you're damn near going to lose America, because that's the origin of pretty much of our powerhouse, and the only choice you will have at this point will have to be the continent.
That's what's happening.
Because the end game is, I just see it. It's not being negative or anything, but we're being forced out of America, really, literally. Exactly.
If the South falls, man, you might just see
screwed.
A exodus out of here.
Yeah, we're screwed. And
we'll be cornered. We have nothing left. If gun violence bays and all these communities start getting so dangerous and unproductive and violent, and the only place we have is white people and more racism and everything, then
Exactly.
the bottom line is it's going to create a situation where you're going to have large numbers of black people seeking refuge and building and investing and divesting in America, investing in Africa. That's going to happen on a large scale. I know.
Yes, yes.
I know it's going to happen because the
you can
bottom line
smell
is
it.
we don't have a political class that's going to prevent that. These people got their heads up in the cloud. Like, are you kidding me? You know, do you see the crime in these communities? Nobody wants to live there. Nobody wants to live around this crap. You know, nobody wants to live this culture this toxic culture that we're in right now. Everybody wants peace and sacred. Once the people realize that they can get that someplace else besides America, trust me, the number of black people move is going to be. The people think this Pan-African move is going away. It's not. So you guys
it's resurrecting.
You guys keep playing your games, right? The so-called ADOS want to talk about African Pan-African movement, but y'all got to take the L for the crime and everything in the black community, right? That's y'all. That's your descendant of slaves, FBA for Foundation. What is it? Foundation Negro America, something like that. Y'all got to take so bottom line is all the crime and all everything. That's you. Yeah, that's what you pride yourself on. That's your game.
Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out. Black Lion, what you like to share in closing?
Yes, at the end of the day, honestly, and for what's going on in America right now, African Americans better be prepared and buckle up, because after the COVID, the mandates, and the racism, African Americans need to buckle up and be very serious, because I'm starting to see in white communities how they're getting fed up with everything that's going on in America right now, and it's about to start a civil war out here. So it's getting so.
Hey, people don't think that's a possibility. People don't think that's a possibility.
Oh my! It's getting crazy out here. Seriously,
they're looking at the crime. They're looking at the disrespect. The one thing they always had was law enforcement, right? You take that away from them, and the bottom line is, if they always knew that, I'm safe because I know police are out there checking on black people. And the bottom line, when I see black people getting arrested, and everything, I know I'm safe. You know, the probability that niggas are. But now police are basically, I think they're doing this on purpose. They're standing down and letting the crime get out of control. And black people, you think that's it? No. See, the dumb Negroes in our community think they're winning. No, we're going to lose as a community, because that's what's going to say is this. Okay, see, like I said in the earlier show, look how these Negroes are. Didn't we tell you these people are nothing but animals? You know, didn't we say that? You know. So it's going to be shoot to kill, arrest them, lock them up, and the bottom line, it's going to get really, really bad coming in the coming years in America.
Oh, yes, it is. So that's why I will say, get an African plan. Plan it.
Get an African plan, yeah.
It's getting serious.
Get out, because the bottom line is this. Even if you live over there 4 months out of the year or plan to retire over there, you have something else, Then you could go engage America from a position of strength. Exactly. But you got black people like, oh man, my bones are bad. You're gonna drive yourself mad. And then you got Whoopi Goldberg up there. I mean, take too much time, right? But it's still race. She's a multimillionaire. Why is she talking about racism? Whoopi, she can freaking tomorrow leave America and never come back. She can live in 20 countries a year, and never come back. But the bottom line is people love that. And the bottom line is, and I think a lot of black people, if you're the type of black people, you're still complaining about racism, it's not going to change. And white people always going to be seen as the standard, everything like that. And that's just the way it is. It's always going to be like that. If people would have told us that, Malcolm X told us that, but we didn't listen.
Exactly.
He told us that.
Malcolm warned us.
Yes, sir. Kyle, go ahead. We're going to go ahead and close out. Anything else?
All right, if you want to get with the College Genesis, download the app, my app, our app, Dynast and I app at BAIO Global Pipeline on your app store. Download the social media app. We're trying to build a social media app where we could communicate. All of us who believe like in repatriation and stuff like that, you can come in there. It's just like on Facebook. You can friend request people. You can create your own group, blog. You can do everything you want. Create your own stuff in there. It's open. It's free. It's free to join. The app is free. We don't charge nothing. We just want people to come in and connect. You're gonna meet all the people that's doing stuff on the ground. The people. We have a chapter for each country. You can create your own groups and everything like that. If you have a special interest in everything, we have different everything. So join the social network. BAO Global Pipeline on your app store, Play Store, or App Store, whatever, and join our social network and everything. But that's all I got to say tonight.
Yes, sir. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Tour Sierra Leone, April, Nigeria, August. If you're interested, hit me up, dynastymir.com. Until next time, family, Dynasty Mir, search for Huru. Peace.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Peace.